This is a video I released in September 2022 for my Patreon subscribers. It's nearly 5 months later, and with the game's impending release, it's only become more relevant. So, I'm making it available to everyone as a bonus video. And I've added a few more minutes at the end with what's happening now. Enjoy. In 1956, the Montgomery bus boycotts, which began after Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white man on public transit, ended with a Supreme Court decision that declared it unconstitutional to segregate buses, that black people could sit wherever they want. Fast forward to 2022, and people want to boycott a video game. I understand why The Onion isn't as popular as it used to be, when the entire world is a parody of itself. So, here's the thing. There's this Harry Potter game coming out, Hogwarts Legacy. It was apparently supposed to come out last year, then this year, and now has a release date of February 2023. Always a good sign, right, cyberpunk? Well, as you probably know, people aren't thrilled with Harry Potter's creator, J.K. Rowling, because she spent the last several years tweeting things that could be perceived as transphobic, and then doubling down on those things. And then she fearmongers over trans people taking away the word women, like this tweet on International Women's Day, where she praised a politician who is fairly against trans people, and then said, "Apparently, under a Labour government, today will become We Who Must Not Be Named Day." JK's really made this fight against trans people a major part of her online identity. So much so that she wrote a book where a character who expresses their opinions about trans people online gets killed. The irony, by the way, is that for these books, she created the persona of Robert Galbraith, a male pseudonym that she writes under. She identifies as a man while being upset at men who identify as women. Anyway, this has led to some people now basically saying that you're a bad person for supporting anything Harry Potter. Cis people really don't get it. Buying the new Harry Potter game tells companies that they can still pay money to transphobes without any issue. Then we have this one. Cis people really do put on full blinders to things like Chick-fil-A and Harry Potter lol. Don't want to be called transphobes, but will continue to support them. So, you buy a video game, you're a transphobe. But here's the thing. Harry Potter is now bigger than one person. Even if you don't like them, you have to understand that they were, and still are, a massive cultural phenomenon. People lined up at bookstores to wait until midnight to buy a book. A book! There's a very good possibility that that will never happen again. And boycotting this to try and take money away from J.K. Rowling is pointless. It's like being angry at the ocean because someone you know drowned, so you take a cup of water out of the ocean and yell, "Ha! Take that, ocean! Now you have less water to drown people with!" J.K. Rowling is worth nearly $1 billion US. Warner Brothers has said that she's not involved in the creation of this game in any way. It's possible that they just paid her a lump sum for the licensing and that she doesn't get any more money out of it. But if she is getting any sort of royalty from you buying a $60 or $70 video game, it would be pennies. You can't make her unrich. That's not gonna happen. And listen, I get that you want to pretend you're a good person. We all do. But it's effectively impossible. We know that. You use a phone made in factories where people are driven to suicide. You buy clothes and shoes made by children in sweatshops, whether you know it or not. The food you eat either results in the suffering of animals, or if you're a vegan, an insane amount of water use. Fresh water becoming more and more scarce by the day. Not to mention all the small animals killed while harvesting vegetables. Your very existence probably results in the suffering of hundreds of people, the deaths of thousands of animals, and the waste of countless resources, no matter how hard you try. And you're concerned about whether or not your entertainment might give a couple extra pennies to some ignorant old British bitch? No. If you like a stupid world where some nerdy kid can shoot fireballs out of a wand and fly around on a Swiffer, don't torture yourself over that. Just enjoy it. Wring what little fun you can out of this miserable existence. The publisher and developer probably employ hundreds, maybe thousands of people who you'll be supporting through the purchase. By the way, many of them likely also have opinions you don't agree with. If you want a real reason not to buy it on day one, it's probably going to be a buggy fucking mess on launch. What game isn't anymore? But save your main character syndrome for the game. You're not Rosa Parks making the world a better place for people. You're some nobody agonizing over playing a video game loosely connected to the works of some woman who says dumb shit on Twitter sometimes. Man, if only someone invented some way to unwind and get away from the world for a few hours a day. So, 5 months later, the boycott worked, right? No. It's the top-selling game on Steam, and it's not even officially out yet as of releasing this. Although, if you bought the deluxe edition, you got access to it a few days early. So everyone's realized this and relaxed, said, okay, whatever, let's move on to something that actually matters, right? Holy shit, are you new here? No, of course not. In fact, the goobers have doubled down on their goober behavior. One person made a website called Have They Streamed That Wizard Game, where you can see if anyone you follow on Twitch has streamed it, because not only are you a transphobe who supports hate if you buy the game, you're a transphobe who supports hate if you watch someone else play it for free. The original iteration of the site let you search any streamer, which could only have one purpose, which is to target and harass people. That you'd hammer in the names of popular Twitch streamers you don't even watch, and then run to Twitter and be like, Squid Dick from FaZe streamed it, get his ass! So you can send your 12 followers to brigade him. They changed it so that it will only show you people that you follow, but even then, what other purpose could it serve? You can just go on Twitch and, if your favorite streamer is playing it, and you don't want to see it, you could just not watch it. Are you seriously going to never watch a person on Twitch again because they played it? A guy played a video game based on a children's book written by a woman who's a piece of shit, and I don't like him anymore. Why not take this one step further? How about scraping people's public Steam libraries or Sony/Xbox achievements to see if they've ever played the game without streaming it? You know, like how normal people play games. Or hey, this would be really cool and not fucking weird. A site where you can search a person and see if they own any Harry Potter merch. The books, the movies, a Funko Pop. That's not psycho behavior, right? And then you have game journalists writing articles like this. Hogwarts Legacy does not deserve to be reviewed on its own merits. Whether or not we want to admit it, it is impossible to talk positively about Hogwarts Legacy without harming a community of human beings. However, it's not harmful to write these articles, slap ads on them, and use the controversy and the game to try and further your own career and earn money? Well, I'm glad that line in the sand was conveniently drawn for you. And you know what sucks about all of this for me? I don't even like Harry Potter or J.K. Rowling. Do I look like a 12-year-old girl from 2002? Don't answer that. But what I do like is sanity. I'd like to see more of it in the world, and I'm not seeing it here. Spending even a second to make or use a site where you can search to see if someone played a video game you don't like is shitting your pants in a rubber room lunacy. And seriously, if you think you're not a hypocrite in this scenario, by endlessly talking about this thing you hate, especially while making money off it, or by even believing you can actually avoid ever purchasing something that was created by a person whose views differ from yours, then you have an even wilder imagination than the hateful old hag that came up with soccer but on broomsticks.